Hi everyone, it's Doreen, My Bedazzled Treasures, and today I have an altered project for you. This is using the pink bottle that you see here in the picture, and my inspiration was the shoe in the background with the Paris, and that's a plate, and that was my inspiration to make this bottle. What I did is I created a Shabby Chic bottle with some inspiration, and here's what the project looks like. This is my bottle. What I did is I used the pink bottle that you see. The one I'm using is a little larger size, and this is what the bottle looks like. It came from Michael's. I'm sure you've seen it. Um, and I wanted to make this bottle to showpiece some of the Wild Orchid Craft flowers, some of my laces and trims, and I also wanted it to be pink. So the bottle is pink, and then I went ahead and created the flower effect here with one of these right here. And this is one of those large marbles. It's about a 3-inch size, and I got mine at Marshall's, and it came in a pack of like 30 of them for 10 bucks. And I really like these because they're flat, but they have some bulk to them, and that's what they look like. So you can add any kind of punched item to these marbles and use them on table settings. You could put inspirational words on them, your favorite quote. This would be great for a wedding. There's so many great uses for these marbles. But what I did with mine is I adhered it as a flower to the bottle, as you see there. And I used a note card that was in this right here. It had the same effect as the plaque there, and I just cut it out in the circle, and I used I think it was my 2-inch circle punch for that, and it didn't quite fit around the circle, so then I added 2 layers of lace to it, and that's what I did there. Then on this side, what I wanted to do is I wanted it to have some fullness. So my mom had given me this right here, which is a piece of lace. It came off of a shirt. Actually, she gave me the whole shirt, and I cut the lace out. And I've used it in another project as well. But I used this piece of lace right here, and I made a fan effect. So I kind of did this number here, where you just kind of make it a fan. And then I attached it with my fabric tack to the back of this piece here. And then I used one of my Wild Orchid crafts, and this is a piece of sequin here, and some feathers. And this is a ticket that came from this pack right here, the Amy Butler line. And I got these at Marshall's for $1.99. And there's 88 different die cuts, and they're double-sided. So what I did is I took this pink tag here, and it says 10 Reasons to Smile. So that's what it looks like. And I aged it up with vintage photo, and I wrinkled it up, made it look really old, like an old letter or something, or an old note. And I just tucked that in there so the note could be, I could write my little notes there. Then I added a piece of this right here, which is sequins and crystals. I don't know if you can see the crystals in there, but it has little tiny crystals in there as well. So I used that on the bottle as well. To give it some fullness, I added a vintage stick pin, which has a little pearl loop here that kind of floats back and forth. And then I also added the right here, and then I added a ticket over here. And the ticket is right there. It says Radiant. So I added vintage photo around the edges, wrinkled it up a little bit, and then I popped it up on with the glue, made the glue a little thick there. Then on the sides, what I did is I added my favorite paper, which is the pink with the keys on it. And this came from the Mariposa collection, I believe. And I just added that all the way around. Added this right here from Memories. And then that goes like that. So, and that's the front. And then the top, I added my Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. And I glimmer misted them with my own paint and some water and some Pearl-Ex, and that's what I got, this real pretty shimmer. So hopefully y'all can see that on the flower. Then I did that same thing to this vintage flower here, which is Wild Orchid Crafts. These are all Wild Orchid Craft flowers. Some seam binding, and then I used a vintage cameo, which is on an acrylic piece right there. And this tool Then I added my frog feather polka dot trim, which is right here. Love that. And then I wanted to dress up my top of my bottle as well. So I took a cork that I have, a lot of vintage corks from wine bottle corks, and I just added the lace trim around the edges to give it, you know, to fill out the cork a little bit. And then I added one of my favorite blings on the top. And I just love crystals, and pearls are my favorite, especially the brown and beigey colored ones. So this was missing some crystals here, and so I just added a couple pearls. So right here and right here, I added these pearls right here, and I think it filled it out really nicely. So that's what I did on the cork, and it sits like that. So that is my project. I hope you like it. Stay tuned because I have more videos to share with you, and thank you everybody for your wonderful comments and your encouragement. I really appreciate all your sweetness, and I will talk to you soon. Bye everyone.